Hi, I'm Middaugh. I'm just gonna go over my equipment. Okay, so we'll start with the first guitar. This is an Epiphone Studio Les Paul EMG 81. Get in nice and close so you can see the EMG. Both 81 and 81. It's a Kirk-Hammett setup. Seems to be like what I like the most so far. That's guitar 1. That's my favorite. It sounds great, amazing. They retail for about around $1,000 new. Came with a lifetime warranty. I avoided it putting the EMGs in. Now this was just too cool. This is my second guitar. It's a Windaroo. These things you can only buy direct from the factory in China. Relatively cheap guitars, and one of the better ones that I played on. I prefer it to an Ibanez. I've only been an Ibanez RG, and this thing sure as hell kicks the shit out of that. With this guitar, anything you look up Windaroo, it'll say that it's fairly decent guitars for the cost. I haven't really read anything bad about the guitars yet. It's got the lock nut on it, and this Overlord of Music bridge. Now, the Overlord of Music bridge, everyone on the internet says that they're crap, they're made out of plastic. This is solid steel. I personally don't have any complaints with this bridge. I've used the shit out of it. I've owned this guitar for just over a month now, and I've only tuned it once, so I'm not having any problems with it. The stock pickups in it, they're stock pickups. They're probably just some Chinese garbage made pickups. I'm not really too sure. I'm hoping to swap them out for the Kirk-Hammett setup EMGs, which is EMG 81 and 2 EMG S's, which is the 81 is the fat humbuckers that are in my Les Paul, and the S's would be the single coils to replace the 2 single coils that are in here. But all in all, this has pretty good sound. They sell for around $250 direct from China. You can't buy them in stores, unfortunately. You have to order it direct from the factory. Now, what I'm playing through is a Roland Cube. This thing's only the 20X, but very versatile. Cost me $225 with the taxes, brand new. As for your clean channel, it's the JCV Clean. That's what amp it's modeled after. It's one of Roland's better amps. It's also known as one of the best for a clean channel. You get your equalization buttons, standard, mid, bass, treble. You get effects built into it. The effects, the only ones I really use are the chorus, the delay, and the reverb. The rest of them I can achieve with my wah pedal and the tremolo bar. It also has the flanger, phaser, and a tremolo. On top of that, you get 6 channels. 30 bottom being acoustic, then you get your overdrive, which sounds great when you're playing AC/DC or Led Zeppelin, your classic rock. The distortion is great for Nirvana, punk, anything along those lines. Metal, I use the metal setting with the Windaroo because it seems to sound better. But with the Les Paul, I prefer the metal stack, which is just above it. Also, there's a great feature called the tube drive. Basically, the harder you hit the strings, the more distorted it is. The lighter you play, the more clean it sounds. Now, the coolest feature of this amp, because I have 3 kids, all under the age of 3, is the power squeezer. That little button right there. What that does is it drops it from 20 watts to 2 watts, so I can play it cranked out. My kids won't hear a damn thing. Now, next is actually this. It's the Snarling Dogg Wino Wah. If you can find one of these, they're discontinued, but if you can find one used, buy it. It's 12 watts in one. I got mine for 30 bucks because one setting was broken. All that needed to be done was a wire needed to be resoldered. But yeah, 12 watts in one, you can't really go wrong. They don't make these anymore, so if you can find one for a decent price, buy it. It's my best suggestion. It gets great sound. I prefer the Voodoo setting myself, with the mid-shift set at one eye, testosterone, and I crank the volume full out, so it's a full wah. Now, that's basically my setup, and this is what I use most of the time. It's for my leads, as I said, sometimes chorus, sometimes delay, sometimes reverb, always the wah on my leads. And yeah, other than that, Epiphone Les Paul, Windaroo, Snarling Dogg, Roland Cube 20X. Because I have 3 kids, it's all cost effective. Need the foot switch for the amp though to make it a lot better. But great sound from this amp. One of the better digital amps out there, I think. The Epiphone Paul, next best thing to owning a real Les Paul. EMGs, if you don't have EMGs, you don't know what EMGs are, go buy them. EMGs kick ass. They give you way better sound, they clean everything up for you, and if you're into metal, it's going to kick the fuck out of whatever you're playing. Windaroo, I'm going to drop an actual Floyd into it, although I don't mind the bridge on this, I'll probably throw it into one of my projects. Needs the EMGs in it, and other than that, that's a decent guitar. If you can find one, buy it.